traditionally produced painting is built in a series of stages that, by and large, replicate the order of priority our brains assign to the various types of impulses it receives from the eyes. In terms of priority, your mind senses the presence of dark masses and luminous patches before it accurately can interpret their shapes. And that's because the most sensitive cells in your retina, the so-called rods, which respond entirely to light and dark, are more sensitive, widespread, and numerous than the color detecting cones. As a result, the optical impressions they send to the brain are similarly vague and low resolution. Also, the rods are more sensitive to light than cones, and as such, the brain relies on their signals more in order to perceive form and texture. Now, the reason traditional oil paintings are made in stages is because the step-by-step process, from the ground up, matches the way the organs of sight prioritize the impressions that they receive. Therefore, the first stages of painting focus on getting those large masses of light and darkness correct, even though their forms may still remain somewhat indistinct. The underpainting, or underdrawing, consists of a series of landmarks and guides that you put down to assist you in later development. The purpose is just to organize your composition. These initial marks don't really represent anything more than placement and extents, and even then in the most general way. The second layer is called imprimatura, and that's when you lay down the large tonal masses to separate the light from the darkness, and you start to feel out the forms of the objects in a more general way. The next layer is griselle. The purpose of the griselle, or dead layer as it's sometimes called, is to map out the forms with a more precise attention to tonal value, without worrying too much about getting either the hue or the saturation correct. Finally, during the finishing stage or stages, if you do more than one, which I often do, you bring the picture to completion with brilliant colors and bold master strokes that